Hello everybody, I am here in Cairo with a really magical being, Matias De Stefano, who we just randomly, synchronistically met at the gym, and I'm really honored to be asking you just a few questions that you seem to be really in flow with regarding the ancient women who used to live in this land, the priestesses, the Egyptians. And Matias just had a beautiful interview with Ihab, so you guys will get to catch the full hour. But for my part of this connection, I would love to ask you about the ancient women priestesses who were leading in this land. So it's our heritage as women in this land, in our DNA. Who were they? What were they up to? And what can you share about this?
Well, in Atlantean time, between 15 to 12,000 years ago, all the cultures of the world understood that if there is a creator, is someone that can give birth to reality. So it's a spirit that can give reality into existence. And the one we can relate with that is women, is the feminine aspect of creation. So for the ancient ones, there was not a god as a male, it was the goddess. So this is why in the structure of their society, they put women in charge. The women were the ones patriarchal, that were leading, that were guiding the humanity as if they were their kids, their childs. So they were the embodiment of the divine that was creator. So in all this civilization here, mainly, of course, here in not Egypt as we know it, the Atlantean Egypt, 10,000 years ago, the culture was related to the feminine, to how we can bring the divine here. We call that the plan to bring heaven to earth. So that's why the people were guided by women in every temple.
So the women, they were the leaders and they understood the process of creation. And you also mentioned that they had certain tools that they were working with, the light, the sound. Can you tell me a bit more about that?
Yes, the women mainly were working to try to bring the divine into the matter. So they understood that we have three ways of doing it. Matter is geometry. So we need to know how to modify the geometry in order to bring something here. And they understood that geometry is encoded by energy. And the energy is all the emotions, the attributes that we have. So we have to also change that energy. But the energy is made of vibration. So they used chanting, singing in order to make the energy change. So in every temple they were using singing for the change of vibration, the alignment of the harmony of vibration, to switch the energy in order to manifest a reality into a physical. So they were teaching how to speak, how to sing properly in order to share the intention specifically, then how to feel, how to relate with emotions, how to use the energy we have within to do things outside, and of course how to manifest, which was about art, different arts, creativity and sexuality, of course.
Amazing. When you're talking, this is what I teach in Awakened Women, the course, but I didn't know I was connected to that. And even the chanting and the songs. And I feel what's interesting in that, in our modern world, it seems these things were things we put on the side, you know?
Yeah.
The musicians sing, if you're interested in music, it could be a hobby, something you do for fun, you listen. But actually what you're reminding us, Matias, is that these ancient civilizations knew the power of these technologies, of chanting, of women coming together, of using these technologies, which you talk about more in Ihab's interview. And it's that bridge between the ancient and the modern that we start to rediscover who we are. And that's really beautiful. Wow, I feel I can ask you a million questions, but for now that will do because we need to run to the airport. But it's been such a pleasure to meet you, to connect, to learn more from you. And I don't know, you feel familiar, you feel close, so hopefully we'll meet again someday, sometime.
Yeah, sure.
And that would be beautiful.
Just maybe to say as a last thing, that in that time, women didn't have the power over the others. Women were like the mothers of civilization, the guides, yes. And this was lost because people started to be in wars and hunger,
yeah.
so the men started to rule.
Yeah.
So it was difficult for the women to control that situation, so they rely the power into men.
Yeah.
And then some men started to organize the civilization according to not to give the power to women, because otherwise they would lose it again.
Yours, mine,
Exactly.
yours.
Yes. So, but in this time, women are taking the power back, but it should not be in the same way as men did.
Yeah.
So it's again the guidance that we need
Totally.
to return, because the next 2,000 years, matriarchal society will rise again.
Totally, like the elephants.
Yes,
You
like the elephants.
But actually what you're pointing to, I feel so strongly about, and it's basically the different power, the feminine power. It's more graceful, it's not about imposing power, it's not about violence, it's not very, it's not pushy, it's a more gentle power, it's a more creative power.
By nature, it's like that.
Yeah, and it's kind of like redefining what power is for us, because in our society we're almost afraid of power, because power is war, it destroys, it's politics, it's government. How can women reclaim that gentle power, the power to create, the power to manifest, the power to transform and to remember who we were, and to really bring that into the body, into the embodiment of the society we're creating?
Well, mainly is that, to remember the power, the inner power that women has in society. That the power is not to take the place of the men.
Yeah.
That the power is to remember.
You guys got your job, we got our job.
Exactly. Yes, and some women are having problems today with that, because they think that in order to have power, they need to put above the.
Yeah.
And it's exactly the same as men did.
Yeah.
So
that's not our kind of power.
yes, exactly. So
We have more.
so in order to get into this balance, we need women need to remember the power of creation.
You tell them that.
The power of creation. You need to remember that. You need to
Thank
remember
you.
that the power of the womb.
Ooh, the woman.
Yeah.
High five. Thank you, Matias.
Thank you.
Catch you later.